diagnosed with cancer,
I would never do
raised
something like this.
37,000, but was given a heavy sentence as the cancer never existed. Born March 2003, her name is Madison Russo, and she was a University of Iowa student when she began feeling, quote, just a little bit off. She experienced sporadic fevers, some bloody stools and random nosebleeds, leading to a checkup with her university doctor. On the 10th of February 2022, at the age of only 19, Maddie was given a diagnosis she never could have predicted.
I got the call from my oncologist and they found a mass on my pancreas and I had stage 2 pancreatic cancer at just 19 years old.
Out of 25 different cancers, pancreatic has the lowest chance of survival.
The 5-year outlook of survival is a slim 11%.
However, this initial announcement video was already somewhat suspicious. She kept on looking to the left like she was reading off a script, which would be a pretty strange approach to talking about a life experience. It's her looking at her script for me. Perhaps she wrote it out to keep her words concise, but also how she was diagnosed didn't sound right.
You don't just have an oncologist. It takes weeks, months. You have to find one that specializes in the kind of cancer you have.
These red flags were clearly overlooked as Maddie was
So some people were already on the case that she was faking this from the beginning, right? And they didn't really believe her from the start, right?
featured by her local news.
That's interesting. I mean, whenever you have cancer and people start doubting it immediately, I mean, that's a bad sign right there. Something stinky,
in which she'd stand by her original story. My phone rang and it said Iowa City Oncology. I stepped out of the classroom and took the call. They told me they had found a mass on my pancreas and that I had stage 2 pancreatic cancer. I was terrified and I definitely still am. I was in shock. I didn't think it could be true. I'm so young and I wondered how this could happen. I went through all the emotions and I was pretty numb. I remember hanging up the phone and I was a mess. I was literally bawling, but somehow I ended up getting the courage to wipe away my tears and went back into class, which now when I think about it was pretty crazy. You never want to get cancer, and if you do get diagnosed, you can't choose where you get it. Of all the ones, why does it have to be this one? Again implying to everyone that she'd been given the worst cancer possible. To make matters worse, surgery was not an option as my tumor is on the tail of my pancreas, and it's very deep rooted. Doctors said that if they went in, the surgery would do more harm. There was more risk than reward, and as a result she'd instead be doing 15 rounds of oral chemotherapy along with 90 rounds of radiation. She'd document the journey as a way to help her cope, trying to act as an example that she could maintain looks and lifestyle. She'd write, round 14 of chemo ended last Friday and by Sunday night, I decided to throw on my running shoes and see where they took me. Well, they took me 6 miles. I'm thinking the bags of blood I received earlier in the week fueled this one and made me speedy, although to a person with leukemia named Anna Tower, this was again very strange. She wrote, when I saw Maddie's post about her
Right, because you're doing 90 rounds of chemo or radiation. You know what radiation does? It actually doesn't it kill, I don't know, it's too much, but doesn't it kill every single cell that lives? Not just cancer cells, it kills every single cell. So you're actually so weak and like just so tired after that because actual good shit's getting taken out of your body that helps you and it's being killed off, right? Same with chemotherapy. Well, actually I think chemotherapy targets, I don't know too much about this, but I think chemotherapy actually targets cancer cells, and radiation is more of like a we're gonna radiate this area and it's gonna fuck up, it's gonna kill even the cells that are helping keep the cancer not spreading.
fueled this
That's
one
how
and
bad
made
it
me
is.
speedy, although to a person with leukemia named Anna Tower, this was again very strange. She wrote, when I saw Maddie's post about her going for a run, she looked pretty. She had all her hair and was strong enough to go running, a run I was missing since my diagnosis. So there I was sitting on the couch, looking at that post and asking myself, what was I doing wrong? Why was I bald, weak, and couldn't even think about walking, let
You're not
alone
posting
running?
enough.
Walking to the car to get to the hospital was a challenge. I was thinking I did something wrong, or maybe that I was not strong enough, passively implying Maddie's appearance was also highly suspicious. People began to ask, how
But
do you
she's
have
really
chemo and
tan.
keep all that beautiful hair? To which she'd post the following video.
How I am keeping my hair during treatment with chemo and radiation. My mom
Well, look at her
found
eyes.
This.
Damn, she got the
It's
coon eyes,
biotin
right?
with collagen and keratin.
Maddie claimed that she'd
Coon
kept her
makeup.
hair by using vitamin supplements, but with
Hold
comments
on.
like, I guess the biotin
Nah.
is stronger than the chemo,
Like,
she'd adjust her
that's a
claim
style.
stating it did fall out sometimes.
I was like brushing
It's a style. I fucking coon makeup style. Let's look. Oh no. It's Yeah, see, look at this. I know what I'm talking about.
my hair, and a few like pieces were like coming out as I was brushing my hair.
She'd post this photo to show she wasn't lying, but it was pretty damn
That looks
obvious
like it's
these
been
were
cut.
simply from a haircut. Additionally, Maddie was super tanned in every single photo, which again
Right.
was weird as they don't let you tan or use self-tanners during chemo.
Yep.
Her response, get this, was that the radiation treatment was keeping her golden brown.
Nuh-uh.
Maybe this radiation was also recharging her energy, as Maddie gave talks at St. Ambrose University, the SAU Generosity Night, and for the National Pancreas Foundation. In the process, she'd appear on podcasts.
How would you define the term pancreatic cancer?
The first word that comes to mind is just ugly.
Before announcing she'd gotten a second type of cancer. It is with heartbreak and shock that I share the
Oh,
news that
shit.
my cancer has spread to my blood and is acute lymphoblastic leukemia on top of my original diagnosis of pancreatic cancer. She'd therefore
Spread?
update her GoFundMe,
Fuck.
writing Maddie's cancer has been progressively getting worse and has spread all over her body, including throughout her blood and also on her spine. She's tried everything and given it her all. Chemo, radiation, and other methods have no longer
Her eyes
helped.
did look like
As
a
a result,
raccoon there.
donations flooded in,
know if
totaling
coon was the correct term, but
$37,800. Maddie's close family friend Peggy Ole, whose husband died of pancreatic cancer, also sent Maddie a whole package of support materials, including $500 in gift cards.
Well.
To keep the money rolling in, Maddie befriended a fellow cancer patient named Charlie, who passed away in October 22, leading Maddie to make the following post. This just absolutely breaks my heart. Charlie and I would text each other daily, talking about all the ups and downs of both our battles with cancer, and she was seriously just a sweet, genuine soul. We were the same age, lived within minutes of each other, and could relate to each other 100%. Sadly, it seemed Maddie's cancer was also getting worse, as she'd post a compilation showing everything she'd been through. Included were photos of her in hospital, although it would be through these that Maddie was finally exposed.
Wait. I want to guess. I want to guess what it is. It's because of this one. Because you can eat. You can eat fine. You don't need this. Right? Oh no. Damn, look at those eyes. Those eyes staring into your fucking soul. It's like they're Grim Reaper. Alright, let's what we got? Where were we at? Here?
That Maddie was finally exposed. TikToker Scrub Hacks, who worked inside a hospital, noticed Maddie's medical equipment was installed incorrectly.
What is going on with that chest port? I am not a chemo nurse, but this doesn't look like a port to me. The dressing is really screwed up with her feeding tube that's not primed. Let's go closer to her nose. Is that the end of the feeding tube.
One comment clarified chemo nurse here and that ain't a port, again confirmed by a medical doctor.
You can see that the actual positioning of the port per se is not accurate. Also, the way that it's secured, the type of tape that's used, is not the same clinical tape that we would use in the hospital.
Compare Maddie's port to that of Anna Tower, and the difference is almost comical.
And I don't know if you've ever seen a cancer port. They're not usually this sloppy.
But the equipment problems didn't end there.
There's nothing in that bag. This would be where the nutrition would be. And if she was actually being fed via feeding tube, this tube would be full of this white liquid. There's nothing in that. So she would just be pumping air into her stomach.
Other photos featured the same inaccuracies.
Here's another one. No substances in the tubing. And her port is still messy. Also, do you see that right there? That little purple spot? Yeah, that's supposed to be down in her stomach.
All of which were taken not inside a hospital, but instead her own apartment. Every other photo was simply found on Google.
This is a picture she posted. That is a European outlet. This picture is from Google.
Except
way.
for some other extremely shameful posts.
This picture alone should put her in jail. She took this picture, drained from chemo era. This was on her TikTok. Somebody reverse
era.
image searched it and found an
Wait, is this a Swiftie? This is a Swiftie, isn't it?
actual person with cancer.
No, and I don't want to put the Swifties down here, okay? Because not all of them are like this, and you just got to meet some of them, and you got to talk to them.
He literally stole this photo.
Maddie took photos of actual cancer patients and posted them to her TikTok as if they were her own. Well, as a result, police received a report that Russo had taken money and donations from more than 439 donors, leading to a warrant to search the Bettendorf apartment of Madison Marie Russo. There, police found a brown paper bag with medical supplies, an IV pole with a feeding pump filled with cotton balls, 2 boxes of transparent dressing and a wig, plus a brand new 2023 Kia Sportage purchased with her GoFundMe money. Police then searched Maddie's medical records, taken from Genesis Trinity, which showed that although Russo was a patient, she was never treated for any cancers or tumors. Police therefore froze her bank account, and Maddie was arrested. 6 months later,
still got
Maddie
that fucking looks like a damn raccoon staring at me.
froze her bank account,
Look at it.
and Maddie was arrested.
Look at her. Looks like a fucking raccoon. Look at this. Let's look up a Midwestern raccoon here. Look at this. Look at this same fucking thing. This is the same fucking thing. Look at this. Look at those eyes. Look at those cute little eyes. It's not the same thing. This woman's a monster. Raccoon would never do something like this. Fake cancer? Raccoon doesn't even know what cancer is.
Arrested. 6 months later, Maddie appeared in court, making the wild claim that she had a broken family and faking cancer was her strategy to bring them back together.
I didn't do this for money or greed. I didn't do this for attention. I did this in an attempt to try and get my family back together. It didn't work.
It was like
and it only got worse.
Maddie's lawyer then
what's the one called? Parent Trap. It's like Parent Trap, huh? And you was playing fake cancer patient. Get your mom and dad back together, huh? Is that the plan? You also got a new Kia Soul, huh? Kia Soul, yeah, watch out for that motherfucker coming down the road.
Explained how being exposed ruined Maddie's life.
At the gym, she's had people approach her and verbally accost her. She has been at the store where she's been flipped off and cursed at and yelled at.
Although those who were deceived still demanded extra punishment.
I hope Maddie Russo is held responsible. I hope Maddie Russo has to spend a great deal of time in jail. I hope Maddie Russo has to pay restitution. She preyed on my emotions and my giving nature.
The judge determined that Maddie had shown remorse.
I doubt that you will ever commit a crime like this again.
But still charged her with first-degree theft. As a result, Maddie was given a 10-year suspended prison sentence, 100 hours of community service, a $1,370 fine, and she was ordered to repay $39,000 to those who donated to her GoFundMe. However,
does a 10-year suspended prison sentence mean that it was like 10 years suspended? Like it was suspended and she didn't serve that?
Her donors still weren't happy. As a pancreatic cancer patient who donated to her, GoFundMe refunded the money. This sentence is appalling. She lied to the court. This was for greed, not her family. To cause people to hesitate to help is the reason she should be in
She
jail.
should go to jail,
Judge / prosecution, you
Just for a little
failed.
bit.
Maddie Russo has since disappeared from the internet.
Good. Nice.